On the following day, the waves continued to crash against the rocky shore. Gaimon and Buggy stood side by side on the sandy shore. The previous day's tumultuous events had given way to a sense of camaraderie between the two unlikely companions. With the raft finally complete, Buggy felt a mix of anticipation and melancholy swirl within him. He knew it was time to embark on his solitary journey once more, so he placed his raft into the sea and sailed away. With Gaimon and his cherished creatures by his side on the shore, Buggy cried with a shout as he paddled away into the vast expanse of the ocean, who was cheered on by his newfound friend. One Piece. Story was made by Eiichiro Oda. Chapter 48. Give Up on That Sea. So you were alive, Red-Leg Zeph, he continued, the peerless captain and cook of his own pirate crew. Zeph met Krieg's gaze with a nonchalant turn. So what if I'm alive? It's got nothing to do with you. As you can see, I'm living as a mere cook now. The Admiral laughed at his response for a brief moment. Interesting to hear it put that way, but from the way I see it, you're living as a cook not by choice, but because that's the only thing you can do. With the way you are now, you can't wear your infamous red shoes. To speak of Red-Leg Zeph is to speak of the master of kicking who refused to use his hands in battle, he explained, the pirate whose destructive kicks could pulverize bedrock and leave a clear imprint even on steel. Your nickname, Red Leg, refers to your legs that would be dyed in the blood of your enemies after a fight. Though I've heard from rumors that you died during a shipwreck, it seems that you've managed to survive, though at the cost of one of your precious legs. With one of your legs gone, you shouldn't be able to fight anymore. Sanji stood in silence as Zeph interjected, I may not be able to fight anymore, but I can still cook as long as I have these hands. But just what you getting exactly? Red-Leg Zeph, you're a man who once braved the waters of the Devil's Hideout, the Grand Line itself. Not only that, you returned without injury. Krieg's eyes gleamed with avarice as he revealed, you must have kept a log during your time in the Grand Line. So what I'm getting at is hand over that log to me. Luffy spoke out. Cool. You've been to the Grand Line, old man? Yes, he replied as he redirected his attention to the Admiral. You are certainly correct to assume that I kept a log, and I indeed have it to this day. But I shan't hand that over to you. That log is the pride of me and my men who bravely ventured into the Grand Line together. It's much too valuable to give to the likes of you. Then I'll just steal it from you, he pressed. It's true that I came back defeated from the Grand Line, but even so, I'm still the mighty Don Krieg, that ocean shrouded by darkness, the mention of which alone causes weak men to tremble in their boots. I had enough power to conquer that sea, enough manpower, enough ambition. The only thing I lacked was information. That was my only flaw. I simply did not know enough, which is why I'll steal your travel log and this ship. Like hell we'll let you, Patty interrupted. If we lose this ship, we've got nowhere to go. That's right. All the cooks here were chased out by other restaurants before finally finding their home in this place, the chefs told him. Owner Zeph is the only one who accepted us as chefs. He's our savior. We ain't letting you pirates steal our home away. But Don Krieg fired another barrage of bullets against the workers. Silence! The difference in strength between you and I is clear as night and day, he demanded. I even proved it to you just now. Don't you dare forget that I'm the strongest. Once I obtain Zeph's travel log, I'll reassemble my pirate fleet and find the One Piece to become the greatest pirate of this era. With his fist clenched in his hand, The Admiral noticed Luffy, who pointed out, "Hold it right there. The one who will become the Pirate King is me." "What? What did that errand boy say just now?" the chef stammered, as Sanji looked at him curiously. With a shout, Patty reached out to the young pirate. "Hey, stand back down, kid, or you'll be killed." "I'm not standing down, especially on this point." Looking at him, Don Krieg questioned him. "Did you say something, little brat? I'll be nice enough to let your comment just now slide." "It's fine. You don't have to let it slide," Luffy replied confidently with his arms folded. "I was only stating the truth. This ain't a game. Of course." With the standoff escalating, two voices decided to speak out from the sidelines, simply chatting away at each other. "Did you hear that just now? Even Krieg couldn't make it in there." "I won't say anything bad, so let's just give up on going to a place like that," his long-nosed friend remarked. "Just keep your mouth shut." With confidence, Usopp and Zoro offered their support. "Are you planning to fight, Luffy? Need a hand?" "Oh, hey Zoro, Usopp, no, it's fine. You can just stay sitting down," he said casually, as Krieg boomed with laughter. "Those are your crewmates? A rather small bunch, aren't they?" "What are you talking about? I've got two others as well," he retorted, pointing out the oversight. Sanji denied his statement. "Hey, you just counted me in, didn't you?" But Krieg's voice thundered over them all, drowning out any further banter. "Don't joke with me, punk. Even my fleet of 50 ships and 5,000 pirates were utterly decimated by that devilish sea in just 7 days only because we lacked information." The cook struggled to comprehend the magnitude of Krieg's defeat. "7 days?" one of them stammered. "The entire Krieg pirate fleet was annihilated in just a week. Just what exactly happened to him?" "Did you hear that just now?" Usopp trembled with panic. 50 ships gone in just a single week." "Huh, sounds interesting," the swordsman mused. Undeterred by their reactions, Don Krieg continued, "Even as a bluff, your comments just now show how completely ignorant you are to reality. If there's one thing I hate, it's empty boasting like yours. Keep saying that, and I'll kill you right on the spot once I get back from unloading this food." With a warning hanging in the air, the Admiral gathered up a heavy bag of food and delivered his ultimatum. "As for the rest of you, I'll give you a little extension. I'm going to go give this food to my subordinates, and then return back here. I'd suggest you leave this place within that time if you don't want to die," he threatened as he departed out of the restaurant. "The only things I need are this ship and Zeph's travel log. If any of you still feel like dying even after I warned you, then so be it. I'll bury you at the bottom of the sea for eternity." As Krieg stormed out of the restaurant, leaving behind a tense silence, Gin spoke out to the crowd of chefs and pirates alike. "Sanji, please forgive me. I had no idea at all that this would happen," he pleaded with remorse. But Zeph intervened with a calm authority. "There's no need for you to apologize," he reassured him. "Huh. Sir," Zeph continued, "the cooks of this restaurant acted out of their own free will, and this is the result of that." Confusion and anger simmered among the cooks as Patty questioned Zeph's decision. "Sir, how could you of all people side with Sanji on this? Just what's the meaning of this?" he demanded, as the chefs pressed on. "That's right. He's the one to blame for all this. He just wants to destroy this restaurant that's so important to you, sir. Sanji, were you planning on using this mess we're in to become the next head chef, or have you just completely lost it? Which is it?" With a thunderous shout, Zeph demanded, "Silence, you numbskulls!" With the situation momentarily focused on the head chef for a brief moment, Zeph told them simply, "Have any one of you ever been hungry enough to die? Do any of you know just how terrifying and painful it is to be stuck in this ocean, deprived of food and water?" What do you mean, sir?" He continued, pointing directly behind him. If you've got time to be crying over spilt milk, then just leave this place using the back door. As his response lingered in the air, the chefs found themselves at a crossroads. Would they fight or flee? Picking up his large fork, Patty declared, I'm gonna stay here. Same here. This is the place I live and work at, another chef added, while more of them replied, not like I've got anywhere else to go to. What? What are you all doing? Haven't you realized how powerful the Dawn is by now? You need to run away. But Gin's warning fell on deaf ears as Sanji lit a cigarette. Hey, Gin, let me tell you something. It's my duty as a cook to feed anyone who's starving, but the ones who are coming to attack this ship are those who've already been fed, so you better not complain when I kill them. If someone is planning on stealing this ship, then I'll kill that person without a second thought, even if it's you. Got that? Gin was completely in silence as Patty remarked to his co-worker. Huh? You save a person only to kill him afterward? Some guy you are? He taunted to Sanji. Shut up, you shitty cook. Luffy sat comfortably on top of the wooden table, flanked by his companions Usopp and Zoro. Hey, what do you think about him? Pretty good, right? Luffy remarked. Usopp's eyes widened as his voice trembled with fear. Who cares about him? If we don't get out of here soon... Calm down, Zoro interjected. Our enemies are wounded pirates. That's right. And besides, I have to fight with that guy, Luffy shared. If he truly is strong, then he and I are going to butt heads eventually. Anyways. He then drawed his attention towards the wounded pirate. Oh, that's right, Gin. Huh? Noticing the shift in Gin's demeanor, Luffy pressed on with curiosity. You said you didn't know anything about the Grand Line, but didn't you guys go there? Gin trembled as he reached for his striped bandana adorning his head. What I don't know is the truth. I just can't believe it, he confessed with fear. I just don't know if those 7 days we spent in the Grand Line was real or just a nightmare. I'm still wrestling with it in my mind. He just appeared all of a sudden. To think all 50 ships of the Krieg pirate fleet were destroyed by a single man. The revelation rippled through the tavern, sparking murmurs of disbelief and alarm among the patrons. What? Impossible! They exclaimed, their voices rising in shock. The entire Krieg pirate fleet was crushed by a single man! Gin's hands shook as he continued. While we still had no idea what was going on, our ships sank one by one, and if it weren't for that storm that whisked us away, even our main ship would have sunk. I don't even know how many of our ships managed to survive. It's just too terrifying to believe as real. I don't even want to think about that hawk-eyed man whose glare is sharp enough to kill a man. I don't want to think about him. Zoro's brow furrowed in concern as he remarked with urgency, What?